What demon sorcery is this?
You ever notice how some characters just never go out of style? Like they pop up in black and white TV shows, disappear for a while, and then suddenly they're trending on TikTok with millions of views. Yeah, we're talking about Wednesday Addams. She started off as a nameless little cartoon girl with a headless doll, and now she's the queen of Netflix, the face of goth girlcore, and somehow the most relatable deadpan detective Gen Z has ever seen. But how did that happen? How did a quiet, spooky kid from the 1930s become the pop culture icon of the 2020s? Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Today, we're diving into the weird, wonderful, and surprisingly powerful evolution of Wednesday Addams. And trust me, she's changed way more than you think.
Now, what's your name? It's gonna be one of...
It all started without a name, 1938. Back in 1938, Charles Addams created a spooky little cartoon family for The New Yorker. These weren't characters in the traditional sense. They didn't even have names, just a collection of weirdos. A bald guy with sunken eyes, a woman who looked like a vampire, and a silent little girl with braids and a permanent poker face. That girl? Yep, the prototype of Wednesday Addams. She didn't speak, she didn't smile, but man, did she make an impression. She had this creepy, cute charm that was hard to look away from. And the best part? She was already morbid. One panel had her playing with a headless doll. Another showed her calmly watching her brother get launched from a slingshot. That set the tone. This kid was not like the others.
Just because we want you to go to the butler's ball?
No.
The 1960s? Lisa Loring gives her a voice. Jump to 1964. The Addams family hit television screens for the first time, and the little girl from those single-panel comics finally got a name. Wednesday. Why Wednesday? Because of an old nursery rhyme. Wednesday's child is full of woe. Of course, Lisa Loring played her, and she brought something new to the role. Cuteness. Yeah, Wednesday was still macabre, but she was also kind of sweet. She danced, she played with her headless doll Marie Antoinette, and she had that innocent, wide-eyed curiosity that made her morbid jokes land even better. She wasn't rebellious yet. She wasn't biting back at the world. This version of Wednesday was a weird little kid in a world of even weirder adults. People loved her. She became a Halloween costume staple and a goth girl icon before anyone knew what goth was.
That to you, Wednesday. I hope the other guy looks wise.
Nobody did this to me.
The cartoons of the 70s and 90s, background Wednesday. The 1973 animated series and the 1992 cartoon reboot didn't do much to reinvent Wednesday. She was just there, still gloomy, still wearing black, but in most of those episodes, she was a supporting character. Her parents, Gomez and Morticia, took center stage, and Wednesday stayed in the shadows, where she seemed pretty comfortable anyway. But even when the spotlight wasn't on her, she never really faded. Her presence lingered, always the creepy kid in the corner with a deadpan line when you least expected it.
Thank you, Sarah Miller. You're the most beautiful person I've ever seen. Your hair is...
1991, enter Christina Ricci, The Blueprint. And then came the turning point. The Addams Family movie in 1991 and its sequel in 1993 changed everything. Christina Ricci didn't just play Wednesday Addams, she defined her. Suddenly, Wednesday wasn't just creepy and cute, she was terrifyingly brilliant. Her one-liners were deadly. Her delivery was ice cold. She was plotting murders, electrocuting her brother for fun, and dissecting society like a 12-year-old philosopher of doom. And who could forget the summer camp scene in Addams Family Values? That's not just a movie moment. It's a cultural reset. Wednesday torched colonialism, roasted her camp counselors, and staged a full-blown uprising in under 5 minutes. Christina Ricci's Wednesday was feminist, fearless, and funny as hell. This was the version that made everyone sit up and say, okay, this kid, she's not just comic relief, she's the star.
It's a very strange and mysterious place.
The Forgotten Middle, direct-to-video misfires in musicals. Not every Wednesday was a winner. The late 90s and 2000s brought some strange attempts to revive the Addams brand. Direct-to-video movies with recasts that couldn't quite capture the same energy. Animated reboots that flattened her personality. Then in 2010, Wednesday stepped onto the Broadway stage in the Addams Family musical. And guess what? She was in love. Yeah, that was a twist. teenage Wednesday falling for a normie boy and struggling with her feelings, it was controversial. Some fans hated it. Others liked seeing a more complex, conflicted Wednesday. Either way, it was clear. The character was evolving again, growing up, testing her limits, and the song Pulled, where she sings about being torn between her darkness and the pull of something light, is actually a pretty good metaphor for the entire character's journey.
Her name comes from a line from my favorite nursery rhyme.
Netflix's Wednesday, 2022, a new queen is crowned. Then came the cultural earthquake that was Netflix's Wednesday in 2022. This wasn't just another reboot. It was a reintroduction. Jenna Ortega stepped into the black dress and owned it from day one. This version was older, smarter, sharper, and now she had supernatural powers, psychic visions, a whole boarding school full of monsters, and a murder mystery to solve. But here's the real genius. Even with all the extra bells and whistles, Wednesday didn't lose her core identity. She was still deadpan, still dark, still emotionally allergic to hugs, but now she was layered, vulnerable under the armor, capable of friendship, even if she'd never admit it. And the dance scene, you know the one. The jerky, mesmerizing, spider-like move she pulled at the Raven dance, that wasn't just choreography. That was a cultural moment. TikTok exploded. Everyone tried to copy it. She became the goth queen of the algorithm.
I will send you back to hell.
The layers behind her, why she works in every era. Here's the secret to Wednesday's staying power. She's not just a creepy girl with a funny outfit. She's an archetype, the outsider, the misfit, the person who doesn't care what you think and kind of hopes you're a little afraid of her. But unlike so many different characters in pop culture, Wednesday never tries to fit in. She doesn't want your approval. She doesn't even want your attention. She just wants to dissect frogs, write murder stories, and maybe solve a supernatural mystery on the side. And depending on the era, she morphs just enough to stay relevant. In the 60s, she was the adorable weirdo and a perfect suburban nightmare. In the 90s, she was the rebel, calling out hypocrisy with a smirk. In the 2020s, she's the Gen Z loner, haunted by visions and traumas, navigating a world that feels just as broken as she does. Every generation gets the Wednesday they need.
No, once I do, you will never see me again. The school needs you, Wednesday.
Wednesday versus the world, her legacy. Let's be real, there's never been another character quite like her. A little girl who embraces death, scorns conformity, and wins hearts by being the opposite of everything society tells girls to be. That's power. She doesn't smile to make people comfortable. She doesn't chase popularity. She doesn't apologize for being weird. And in doing so, she gives everyone permission to be unapologetically themselves. That's why you see Wednesday Addams on t-shirts, in memes, in fan fiction, in cosplay. That's why Christina Ricci's smirk and Jenna Ortega's glare feel timeless. That's why every little goth kid or theater kid or introvert or misfit looks at Wednesday and goes, yeah, that's my girl. Our nerdy thoughts. And there you have it. Wednesday Addams, fully evolved and still somehow just getting started. From creepy little cartoon to viral queen of the internet, she's proven that being weird, dark, and unapologetically yourself never goes out of style. So which version of Wednesday do you vibe with the most? Ricci's razor-sharp savage, Ortega's psychic goth detective, or are you all about the OG black and white charm? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear your takes. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and share it with your fellow spooky souls. Because, let's be real, we're all a little Wednesday inside. Catch you in the next one. Stay weird.
What the heck, I'll laugh anyway.